What's up, family? It's Tera Chantelle. Thank you so much for joining me with another video. Let's have a real conversation today. I've been thinking a lot about marriage, and I have really stepped out of the matrix. I have stepped out of the programming that was set up for us in early ages, and now I have been thinking for myself, family. And let me tell you what I think about marriage now that I have thought for myself. As we know, marriage is a traditional thing to do. They have ingrained in us that it is religion based. This is what you do when you fall in love, to move on, to go into the next level up of love. And I have been blessed to be raised in a two-family household with parents that are still married to this day. So I know what a husband looks like, and I know what a wife is supposed to do. Seeing that balance, seeing that dynamic, and it's truly a blessing to have been in this household, to be privileged enough to see this type of love, because I have noticed that women who are striving to be married have not even seen their mother be a wife, so they don't know how a wife is supposed to operate. And when I tell you, being a wife now, you gotta have a whole nother type of heart. And I praise all the wifeys out here, all the women that are serving their man, because that is what you are supposed to do when you are a wife. Your husband is first. Your body is his body now. What he wants to do is what you have to do. And marriage is when you are one. You should be equally yoked. And noticing that a lot of women are striving for marriage, but they don't even know what the dynamic of a marriage and how to properly even communicate with a man. Men and women are completely different, and we have to understand that and get to know each other better, because if we do not know each other, then this is when conflicts come about. Conflicts come about due to the fact we simply don't know each other. We have to take the time to really dissect the meaning of love and what your love language is, and truly understand this lifelong commitment, that this is not a game. And I understand that we get in there all willy-nilly just thinking about the wedding and not understanding this is a lifelong commitment with someone. You got to be with them forever, forever. And understand, I have been studying myself, and I know myself. As being an empath, I take on a lot of people's energy. I feel energy, and I also can tell when energy is not on the same frequency that I'm on, because I'm easily equipped to knowing myself, and I take in a lot of energy being an empath. So understanding that about myself, I have been raised in a family with two parents as well. So till I was 21, I was living with my parents, with my siblings as well. So I never lived on my own until I moved down here to Atlanta. So I have been living by myself, and I have been extremely independent. And I realized what I came here to do in this earth school is to enjoy my freedom. Freedom is a huge part of my existence. Is how I operate, is how I love, is how I enjoy my life, is my freedom. Because I have been in a household with so many people, it was 5 of us all together. We had our own room, so we still had time alone. But imagine just living with someone and not taking the time to live with yourself. And when you have a season to yourself, that means you start to think for yourself. You start to question things, because as we know, we have a ritual. We go down tradition, but we never question tradition. Is this actually the right path for me? And realizing that we all go down different pathways to reach our final destination here. We all came down here to learn more about ourselves, to evolve and to grow. But you got to understand, why did you come here? Most people did not come here for a relationship and to get married. Most people are called here to be of service. But I realize, if you are married, is your priority, is your family, is your mate, is your partner, and that's who you have to serve. And then the service for others in the world and your business and your plans is after that. But when you take a vow, when you take this type of commitment, you have to move different. And I realized this firsthand and foremost when just really seeing if marriage was a good fit for me. I don't like rules. I don't do rules. I don't do, if someone tells me what to do, tries to have authority over me, and I got to ask for permission. I got to ask for permission. I got to call you and ask you, can I do this? Can I do this? And look out to see if this is okay for you. When you are in this type of commitment, you have to make sure your spouse is good. You can't just get up and go to Africa, because you have to make sure their feelings are okay, and you have to put their feelings into consideration. Learning about myself, oh, you can call me selfish or whatever. I'm putting my feelings first, because I know what I came here to do. And when you know your purpose, that means you have to go all in to that commitment itself. I get that people first try to find love, and then they go into marriage, and then they find themselves. So imagine, I took the route of finding myself first. So now my standards are completely much higher. Now I'm not going to just settle for just anything. If you don't know yourself, if you don't like spending time with yourself, if you want me all up under you, I'm not for you. I believe in individuality. I am much better at being an individual. I don't need to be paired up with someone. I don't need to be known for being with someone. Oh, you know me because I'm married to this person. I am my own woman. And it takes a lot of courage and boldness and independence to be your own woman. And we frown upon and look down upon women who actually want to be independent. I realize I like my own house. I like my own space. I like my own habits. I like me. I really like me, and I like spending most of my time with me and God. When you are in solitude, this is when all the ideas starts to marinate, and then that's when you manifest your greatness into reality. But if you got everybody up in your ear, if you got everything around you as distractions, you are not going to obtain your purpose here and what you were called to do. I realize I like my cleanliness. I like not being able to fold my clothes when they just come out of the laundry room. I like to move how I want to move and do what I want to do. I realize that we put a lot of pressure on marriage. We have these made up rules. I can't talk to people now. I have to walk on eggshells now. I have to play small. I have to put myself in a box because I have my spouse, and I have to make sure that they don't get jealous or they're not insecure if I'm out here just being friendly. I get told all the time, family, that I'm a little bit too friendly. And I see that as an insecurity that humans have, because they're not used to kind-hearted people who genuinely don't want anything from them. So I get told that as like that's some type of negative thing, as being a friendly human, as being a friend to someone. The reason that most people don't have friends is because they're not friendly. So now it explains why my personality is vibrant, is excited, I'm enthusiastic, because I genuinely love me, and now I can be connected to everything around me and have love for that as well. So it takes true evaluation of self to really dissect what is for you. Just because everybody is doing something does not mean it's right. You have to learn what is best for you. And I realize what is best for me is more like a life partner, a spiritual partner, where we don't have to sign a contract. We don't have to have rules. We don't have to be caged up. I realized a caged bird can't sing. And I cannot be caged up. I cannot be boxed in to really live this life the way I'm called to live. I came here to have my freedom. And if I can't have my freedom with you, we will not operate on the same frequency. I don't want to hold you back from your dreams, and I don't want you to hold me back from my dreams. If you want to get up and go somewhere, I would encourage you to get up and go. I don't want to be all up under someone. I don't want to see someone every single day. I don't want to spend time with someone 24/7. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. And that's just like when I realized that choosing a child-free life is for me as well, because I'm not going to be nice to a kid 24/7. If you got to be up under me 24/7, the kid is going to get some backlash. I might flip out here and there because I can't. It's impossible to be nice 24/7 because you're going to go insane when you don't have your sanity, when you don't have time to meditate, to sit with yourself, to be in your own thoughts. It's cause for a destruction. So as learning about myself and becoming independent and becoming my own woman, I want other people to be their own person. I don't want to have to ask for permission to do me. I don't want to have rules and regulations. If I want to get up and go, if I feel like this relationship, this friendship is no longer serving us, I don't want to be bound to it. Because unfortunately, as humans, we are conditional with love. It's not unconditional. I know they try to say, oh, I'm going to have unconditional love. No, if this man hits you, you better leave. So it has to be conditional, and you have to have boundary setting. You have to have standards, because everything is not going to fly. So if you want unconditional love, you got to go see God. And I realize that I'm called here to serve God and to serve other people. But I can't put all of my energy into one person, because I found my mission, I realized my mission, and I maybe stepped up to the plate myself to take on this duty to be more accessible for others and not just be selfish towards one person. So I realized about myself, what's for me is a spiritual partnership. We don't gotta have rules. I'd much rather be the homie. You get more perks, women, being the homie. You get honesty, you get respect, you get love, you get masculine energy, you get it all just being the homie. If the only thing is, if we not having sex, so be it. But you don't need to be having sex with just any and everyone anyway. Freedom is what I love and what I came here to do. And if it doesn't revolve around freedom, it ain't for me, baby. It ain't for me, baby. But we have to also praise the women that choose not to be locked down. Cannot frown upon women that choose not that lifestyle, that traditional way of thinking, because it's all a tradition. Why is every woman wearing a white dress? Why do we all have to go down this ritual? Why do we all have to do the exact same thing? Why is your marriage supposed to be this way? Everybody's relationship is different. Everybody's bond is different, and you have to do what works for you. And I realize what works for me is no rules, no regulations, no authority over me and over my spirit. And I want the best for those who are surrounded by me. We don't need a label. We don't need a title. If the world can't understand it, it ain't their business. But you got to be really confident to think like this. And I realize that I don't necessarily need a ring. I don't need a big marriage. I don't need to have that label. And I don't want to lock anybody down as well. You would think that men would be like, oh, okay, she don't need that. I can do what I want. No, men will still try to lock you down. And I'm like, brother, you can do you and be whoever you want to be. I'm not going to ask no questions if you want to do this and do that. It's like, dang, you too cool, T. But I realize we have been programmed to not think this way, to not be that confident, and to be okay with being an individual with yourself and actually putting God first. You guys should look up the story with Apostle Paul. I realized like that is truly powerful. He said like, I wish all y'all wouldn't be married and not having sex, because you'll get a lot done if you really doing God's calling. But if you have sexual desires and sexual urges and you are not able to obtain your sexual discipline, yes, then that's when you should get married, so you can have somebody you can sleep with every day. If you can't hold out and you can't obtain your sexual energy to express it in a creative way, then you can go on to this mission of truly serving God and working for God. And that's what we called to do here. We not called for these made up rules the system placed on us. We more so in this lifetime prefer a spiritual partnership. Everybody don't have to understand the spiritual partnership. Only your spiritual partner understands. And you got to be really whole to be with someone who loves themselves, okay? You got to be really whole, because I realize I ain't going to divorce myself now. I have been married to myself. I have been loyal to myself, and it has been the best treatment one can give themselves, is by staying loyal to yourself, because my heart is so full, because now I'm able to love you. Thank you, family, for tuning in to this video, to this conversation. It was just truly on my heart to really dissect this tradition that everyone feels like the next level up is to do this. But for me, if it doesn't align with my freedom, it's not a good mix for me. You feel me? I love you. And I'm going to see you at the top, baby.